Then let's begin. Great potential. Polished outfit. Speak louder. Fun conversational speaking style. You really ought to fix your hair. Make it flow. Every one of these phrases is something that has been written on one of my past ballots, and I remember them because they were helpful. They helped me to know where I needed to improve, and they encouraged me. Today, I'm going to do my best to persuade you of 4 simple words and 1 easy concept. And although it may seem simple, I don't believe anyone has ever truly grasped that what you say matters. I meant what I said, and I said what I meant, says Dr. Seuss. So surely he meant it when he said, so open your mouth wide, for every voice counts. Every voice and every word. Speaking of counting words, a statistic from NPR.org says that people use roughly 16,000 words per day. That's a lot of words. And as we move on, we'll see through the perspective of several different brilliant minds, such as Benjamin Franklin, Blaise Pascal, Dr. Seuss, and even the writers of Scripture, that words aren't just simply words. Words have the power to change us, impact us, tear us down, and build us back up. What you say will matter, no matter how insignificant you feel your words may be, whether it's a simple, fundamental please or thank you. What you say will matter to someone. I work at a busy lunch restaurant, and oftentimes on Saturdays we are pulling hundreds of people through the line in only the space of a few hours. And I cannot convey to you the amount of relief and encouragement I got when a customer took the time to look me in the eye and say genuinely, thank you so much, you have a fabulous day. And suddenly, the line didn't seem nearly as long and my feet didn't hurt nearly as much. All because this customer said thanks. A kind word truly does wonders. And Blaise Pascal says, kind words do not cost much. They never blister the tongue or lips. They leave other people good-natured. They also produce their own image on men's souls. And what a beautiful image it is. Beautiful and wonderful as kind words are, there is, unfortunately, a flip side to every coin. A critical or negative word can easily stay with a person for weeks, months, and even years. And there are, unfortunately, countless situations where someone has said something critical or negative, whether purposely or not, that has stayed with a person from their childhood into their adult life. In fact, there's a general counseling term for this. It's called your already always listening voice. In other words, it's the voice that is always with you, reminding you of all the things you can't do and all of the bad remarks you've been told since you were a child. It's the voice that says you can't do that, you aren't good enough, you're fat, you're ugly, they hate you, you're not smart. And whatever it is that your voice whispers into your heart. All of this probably began with a few carelessly spoken words. And Benjamin Franklin wisely advises, if you think little of a person, you ought to say as little as you think. And Ira Gasson says, be careful of your thoughts. They may become words at any moment. But don't get too down or consider completely quitting words cold turkey just yet. I promise that the fact that what you say matters isn't a bad thing. In fact, depending on how you use your words, you could make someone's life. Take this story from Inspire21.com, for example. A young man was faced with a difficult job. He was anxious and concerned. An older friend who was both wiser and more experienced gave him this advice, complete in 4 words. Make this an adventure. It completely changed the young man's perspective on so many things in his life. The young man says what had been a problem before was now a challenge. What had been a source of anxiety now became a source of excitement. The young man said he applied this bit of advice through many years to come, and it almost always gave new meaning. Consider that for a moment. It took only 4 words to completely change the young man's perspective on so many things in his life. What you say will matter. Do you remember that already always listening voice? Well, imagine yourself being the flip side to that voice. You could be the one in someone's mind saying, you're gorgeous or handsome. Haha, you're hilarious, you have a great sense of humor. Don't worry about it, keep going. You're so clever. There is so much wisdom to be gained if we can remember these words from Proverbs 16:24 that say, "Pleasant words are a honeycomb, sweet to the soul and soothing to the bones." Speaking of pleasantries, it's not always what you say exactly, so much as the way you say it. Let's set the tone here. My dad is a relationship coach, and he often counsels people to consider the way they use their tone of voice. He stresses this aspect of communication by using the following example. We have a Great Dane dog whose name is Hobbs, but his name is often exchanged for a doofus. But he can't tell that we call him silly names because of how we use our tone of voice. How do you think Hobbs would respond if I said, "I love you, Hobbs, you're the best dog ever"? As opposed to, "Oh, you're so stupid, I hate you, I really ought to put you up for adoption." Well, by then Hobbs would most likely be bouncing around me thinking, "Oh, I love you too," even though I just told him he was stupid. He thought I was being kind and loving because of how I said it. In the same way, Hobbs was most likely cowering under a table when I was yelling at him because he thought I was mad instead of expressing my love. What you say and how you say it can and will matter and leave a lasting impression. James 3:3-5 says, "When we put bits into the mouths of horses to make them obey us, we can turn the whole animal." Or take ships as an example. Although they are so large and driven by strong winds, they are steered by a very small rudder, wherever the pilot wants to go. Likewise, the tongue is a small part of the body, but it makes great boasts. Consider what a great forest has set on fire by a small spark. Consider what a great impact you can make on someone's life by a small, sparking word or phrase. What you say will matter. Judges, do you remember the phrases that I said were on my past ballots? Well, I don't remember them just because they fit my speech. I remember them because they impacted and helped me. Like then, what you say now will affect me. Whether you say, "This girl's great, she should go straight to nationals," I'll see that and I'll say, "Thank the heavens, I did something right." Or even if you say, "Honey, you need to work on blocking," I'll see that and I'll say, "Thank the heavens, I know what I need to work on." What you say truly does matter to us, the students. The words you use, be it a simple, "I believe in you, you've totally got this," "You're one smart cookie," or even a "You look great," could be the one comment that finally counters someone's already always listening voice. 4 words can change a person's life. Never forget the simple power of little words. What you say will matter.